Good evening, dope people. We want to welcome y'all to another dope episode of the Fat Girl Chronicles, where we get all up in your business and discuss the topics that matter to us most each and every Tuesday, which we lovingly call Fat Tuesday, right here on Facebook and YouTube. Instagram is cutting up and it keeps kicking us off. So we'll be right here for the duration of the show on Facebook and YouTube. And then, as always, you can check us out if you would like to listen to the show once again on all of the podcast streaming platforms. But we up in this thing tonight. What's good, everybody? What's good?
Hello, beautiful people.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Yeah.
Good over her.
Y'all all right? Everybody all
Listening
right?
to this rain.
I just woke up to my alarm for this. I love y'all.
Oh, I thought you looked like your breath stink. Okay.
Wow. He just gave you a nice compliment. You just gonna go at him like that. That's crazy.
That's crazy. It's all
That's
right though.
crazy. That's
Who gave me a
crazy.
compliment?
Nobody.
I got a compliment. I
Nope.
missed it. What you said? I take it back. I take it back.
I said you need a footstool to close your curtains. That's what I said.
That's not what he said. But that's not what he said. But it was a compliment nonetheless.
Y'all saw me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know
We
y'all
did
saw
see
me.
Buy your a curtain footstool for Christmas. That's what I said.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. I need a footstool.
I know.
Make sure that it's bedazzled.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Make sure it's something.
Y'all done?
I was being nice. I ain't do nothing.
Y'all done?
Yes,
Okay. So, if y'all did not check the show last week, we were talking about soul ties, and last week we kind of tapped into more of the positive effects of soul ties and all of that good stuff. And this week we're gonna tap into the negative because just where there is positive, there is negative when it comes to anything in life and in this world. So, just like we talked about positive soul ties and all of the great things and communication and how to nurture all of the positive connections and things like that. We're going to talk about just the opposite. We're going to tell y'all how to let go of soul ties, how to release them, how not to um, get caught up in those type of connections that no longer serve you or those connections that no longer are fruitful, because everything that is connected to us, we need it to be fruitful. We need it to be abundant. We need it to be beautiful. So tonight we tapping in and we starting with, I'm gonna run down the types of soul ties just in case y'all didn't get them last week. So we got emotional soul ties, physical, spiritual, and mental. And I'm going to give a brief description. The emotional, those are formed through deep emotional connections with someone. You feel bonded to this person through shared feelings, support, or vulnerabilities. This can happen in close friendships, familiar relationship, or romantic partnerships. Physical soul ties are often formed through physical intimacy, particularly during sexual encounters. These ties can be particularly strong due to the physical and emotional exchange that occurs during intimate moments, making it harder to emotionally separate from the person. Spiritual soul ties. These ties are created through shared spiritual or life-changing experiences where two individuals feel connected on a deep, almost transcendent level. This type of tie is often seen in deeply spiritual relationships or transformative connections that go beyond the physical. And last but not least, the mental soul ties. These bonds are formed through intellectual stimulation or shared through ideas. People who connect mentally often admire and influence each other's thoughts and beliefs. So, there is that. And before we dive fully into this topic, we are going to get our little bit of news. And then we're going to get right on up into this thing. Y'all know that um these conversations get deep and we be talking and talking and talking. So I want to make sure y'all get y'all a little bit of news before we get up into this thing. But digest that information that was just given to you, and we finna get into this news real quick. Okay? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay, I'm ready. All right. This on you, Miss Ayla.
Okay, hey y'all. A lot going on in the news today. Yeah, so there's a lot going on in the news today. According to the Weather Channel, evacuations are underway. And schools are closing in Florida ahead of Hurricane Helene. I believe that's how they say. So it's been a state of emergency in Florida. It's supposed to expand all over Florida. So if you know anybody that's in Florida, or if you are in Florida, y'all be safe out there in them streets because it is coming. It's supposed to be coming tomorrow and most of Thursday. So y'all be safe out there. Also, Preply.com issued its list of rudest cities in 2024. And among the top 5, I was actually surprised that Chicago wasn't on there. However, the number 1 city that is the rudest is Miami, Florida. Now, I've never really necessarily experienced that myself, but apparently Miami rude is all get out. So that's supposed to be the rudest city. I did have something else, but I completely forgot my notes. So that is all I have for y'all today. And I'm going to take it back to the squad.
Well, all right. So we gave y'all the types of soul ties. And we're going to talk about how to break. No, let me double back. We're going to talk about the effects of negative soul ties because we can't even talk about breaking one until we know how to identify them and the negative effects of them. So, first and foremost is emotional drainage. Negative soul ties can leave you emotionally exhausted, constantly feeling weighed down by unresolved feelings, anxiety, or depression. These ties often leave you feeling stuck or unable to move forward. So, talk to me, y'all. What y'all thinking? What y'all feeling when it comes to these emotional soul ties and the emotional drainage?
So, what's the difference between the drainage and just feeling stuck on a regular day as opposed to emotional soul ties?
You said what's the difference between the emotional?
Yeah, and this is just regular. I'm just feeling stuck in out in the world.
I think it has more of a pull on you than it would if it was just like feeling stuck but that could be a cause of the emotional drainage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like feeling stuck could be one of the effects or one of the things that happens because of the emotional drainage. Like you don't really know how to navigate in this space. You don't really know how to identify, all of the other things that's going on in your life. So it could be one of the things that is attached to or tied to emotional drainage. Gotcha. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So in that case, then shout out to that because that helps me get through a lot of TV time. I binge watch a lot of TV when I feel like that. Yeah, man, you get stuck in your thoughts, especially like you're just thinking about that person. Male, female, whatever. Like you're just stuck on that person, and you really feel like it's almost like when you watch movies and they look at people. It's like you see that person in other people, and it's like you literally like in the Matrix. And you can't get out of it. So I don't like that feeling, but I do get a lot of Cosby Show time in. cultivate. So shout out to that.
Not Cosby Show time.
Not Cosby.
Yeah, when I'm down like that, it's either the Cosby Show or 80s movies. That's how I get through it. So
yeah, mine is throwback movies, and I actually like to watch murder mysteries or like love stories. I don't know why that is.
And I love a good whodunit. I love a good
whodunit.
My brain works so I can stop thinking about that. So
absolutely. And oftentimes, like with those soul ties and having that emotional drainage, sometimes you're not even still dealing with the person anymore. It's just lingering. It's lingering from past a past relationship or a past situation. I was talking to someone before who was doing yoni steams. I don't know what it is for men. I don't know what they have for you guys, but I know as far as for women, there's you can do a yoni steam, and in the midst of you doing like a yoni steam, you are praying, manifesting, releasing. So releasing those soul ties or those people, and you basically are saying who or what you're releasing out of your basically your womb chakra. And you're pushing them out. And ironically enough, when I first heard it, I was like, okay, but I tried it. I tried it a few times, especially in the midst of my divorce, and it actually helped because I don't know if it was more of a mental thing or if it was more of a finally being able to release certain things, but it was also not necessarily just releasing that past relationship, other relationships from the past, and especially if you dealt with somebody that was a cheater, releasing those people too, because those energies intertwine when you're dealing with somebody who has cheated. You're taking on whatever that energy from whomever they've been cheating with multiple people or just one or whatever the case may be. You're taking all of that energy in as well when you are intimate with somebody, or just dealing with, like I say, emotional bondage. So yeah. And reading too, Fuji-la, that's good too.
Yeah, your cells morph when you get physical with somebody. Like you take on the cells of the person that you've been physical with. And it takes a while for those cells to, die out and rejuvenate into your own cells again. So that makes perfect sense. And men got the gooch. We can steam our gooch, but I don't know a lot of men that do that.
Wait.
Oh, that's right. You guys can steam your gooch. That is true. That is
when did this happen?
Oh, they have them at the spa.
It's been a thing.
Yeah, but it's a thing.
It's been a thing.
So this is a thing.
Yeah.
Steam out that gooch.
It's been a thing. It's been a thing for a little while.
So men is now steaming. Oh, okay.
Yeah, to release the toxins.
To release the toxins from your body. That's really what that is supposed to do. It's supposed to release the toxins from your body, and then also
you can do your gooch. You can do the anus.
So you're releasing all of everything that you have intertwined with. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's no. I think that's why I got therapy for.
You might want to steam the your anus or something.
No, why? What?
Get it up out of there.
Listen, look, no, y'all just added. I think every time we have these conversations, y'all add more and more stuff, and I just
we're not adding. We telling.
I think people just be adding stuff. No, man. Continue.
No, like
continue, Ayla. Continue, Pablo.
No, because it's a release.
That was releasing so much.
Like certain parts of your body, things release. So like your feet, the top of your head, down there. Like
I'm not gonna hold you. I just found out about this type of release, like this type of foot thing that you could do, and it releases all.
I was about to say you've never had one of those. It's almost like a pedicure, but you put your feet down in it. And when you put your feet in there and that water turns black, it's releasing the toxins from your body.
I just applied for that.
That's doing.
I made a reservation for that.
Yeah, you didn't know. Right.
Good.
I felt like I needed a cleanse. I want to start over again.
Yeah.
I think I need it.
And wait till you realize how much toxins you've been holding in, and that's part of a soul tie.
Yeah, but this whole gooch thing, no.
You still stuck
Bruh,
on
y'all,
the part.
it'd be so funny when dudes talk when
No.
we bring up certain parts of the male body that y'all are often surprised or just like, what? Oh my God, no. Like,
No. I'm not.
it's
Oh
a
my
part
God!
of
I just
your
didn't know
body.
nothing about it.
Relax.
I just didn't know nothing about it, and it's
Yeah.
just, you know,
it's not just for pleasure.
yeah,
know?
it's yeah, my point exactly. Like,
Yeah, it's not just
Yeah,
for
it's
pleasure.
not just a pleasure thing.
yeah, I'm just, oh, really? We just
And
gonna
I'm gonna say this because I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think that men actually need to hold more value, right, to their sexual organs than they do.
Yeah.
I really, really believe that y'all should do that. It's saddening and disheartening sometimes how reckless y'all can be, and it's actually a turnoff too.
You know why?
Whoa! I was just having this conversation with my good friend Leo right there. Leo, we just had this conversation. I was like, this whole tie thing got me all bound up.
Oh, the whole conversation about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do well for I could say I hold myself accountable.
Don't say we.
I was about to say, talk about yourself.
Yeah, I hold myself accountable for a lot. But you're right. I think men do need to really step up and, you know, stop doing dumb shit.
It's the knowledge base.
I feel like y'all see y'all organs only for sexual pleasure. Like
that's it.
That's all. Y'all don't see it as
for
it
themselves.
being more
they
than
ain't think
that.
about nobody else half the time.
Yeah, like y'all only see it as a sexual organ. Y'all don't see it.
No,
as...
you know, Ayla just threw a cheap shot. Wait a minute.
What did she say?
That was an Ayla shot. That was
an Ayla shot. Wait, come back again, homie. I heard
but that's true though.
Was saying Leo over here saying something profound.
That's true though. Like men, just literally, a lot of men go into
we
it.
do. We don't give ourselves enough value. We don't.
Yeah.
I don't think we do. I don't.
I know.
There's something I'm like I said. I think my journey. I'm gonna call it my journey.
I like that.
Learning certain things, like, okay, all right, I am worthy of this.
See, and that comes from your knowledge base.
Yeah.
Like most men don't know that they're worthy. Most men don't know that they deserve it. They don't know that you know. We're magical creatures. Like
a lot of
the
guys
way a
don't
human
value
is formed is magical in itself.
Yeah.
So when
and
men realize that,
I just unlocked my little magic. You know, I just
exactly.
realized that I was magical. So it's funny that and the funny thing about it, I'm being funny, but I'm honestly being truthful. Like, it's something I just realized within myself, that I have value.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of men don't think that. You know,
we really don't.
A lot of men think we're just weapons at this point. You know, whatever the weapon it is, you know, strength, you know, sexual, whatever. Like, we're just the weapon. Like, we're here to protect, and that's it.
That's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's a lot of stress also to put on somebody.
Absolutely.
And it's also one of the things where you guys, like, a lot of times we say y'all are easy. Like, dudes are easy. Y'all easy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because all you got to do is compliment you, rub on your thigh, and y'all ready. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care about shit after that. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times it comes to the point of, like, damn, like, do you truly value yourself? Do you appreciate yourself? Do you understand, like, what you're capable of, or who you are capable of becoming? If you had a little more discipline, a little more self-control, a little bit more of
value,
self-restraint. You know what I'm saying?
And that also ties in with the soul tie, because you stay connected longer to somebody when you feel like you don't have value of yourself. You feel like you need that person to add value to your life. I need to take a nap before the show more often. Look at this. I'm preaching over here.
Okay, look at you.
Oh, no, you really are. But my thing is, for real, I don't.
No, I'm just talking crazy to Kiki here. I don't want her to yell at me again.
No, but I feel like that it's been a long time coming, that a lot of men don't like. We need to find more value within ourselves. Only thing we're ever taught is we're supposed to provide and protect. That's it. Nobody's ever told us that we were
more than that.
Yeah, nobody's ever told us that we were important. And when you come from that, and then all of a sudden somebody's telling you something different, it's talking foreign. It's really talking foreign. If you're built on just being a protector and a provider, and then somebody's like, nah, you're more than that. And you just gotta look at the person, what you're talking about.
That's because that's another soul tie. That's because unfortunately in our culture, that's the way it was to be. You were supposed to provide, protect, and provide for your family, but nobody ever told you that you were the anchor of that family and you were valuable to that family because it took you to lead the rest of the family. So now you're finally hearing like, I am worth something to somebody.
Yeah.
But it was always in our culture, no, y'all supposed to provide, profess, and just shut your mouth. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to talk about it. You're not supposed to feel. You're not supposed to do none of it. So that's unfortunately, that's an old soul tie that we've all been taught. Like, hey, this man is supposed to do this, and this. And I don't care about how you feeling or none of that. He's supposed to carry it all and be the strong one all the time. And that, it get heavy. And you hurting. You don't know what to do and you don't know what to say. And then you say something to her. And then she was like, no, man up. And then you say something to the fellas. They like, no, man up. When you really supposed to have a conversation, say, hey, bro, I say you need to talk because something ain't fitting with you right now because you kind of off. What you need to talk about. Let me listen to you. And let me tell you, like, I've already been there. Let me tell you what worked for me. I don't know if it's going to work for you, but let me help you walk this walk. And you're not walking in by yourself. That's the heavy soul tie that we've been taught, unfortunately.
And then also being able to take help too.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes men deal with things by themselves. Like they'll cope with that stuff, deal with that stuff. And Black men, the rate of depression and suicide for Black men has been going up. And it's like
consistent, not just
consistently. And no, it's like one of those things where it's like, well, they don't know, they weak or whatever the case may be. And it's like, no, you know how much. I think I wish that Black men understood how much their worth holds weight.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. Like you saying, you wish Black men knew. A lot of Black women are not letting us know this stuff. Like it's just this, that, and that's it.
Yeah.
We get into these relationships and it's just me. It's all about me. And it takes a certain amount of, you know what? Wait a minute. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to have a crazy, like Leo be like, yo, you need to cry. I cried. You know when I cried? In front of my mom.
Yeah, that's
my
good.
mom broke me.
That's good.
And once that clicked, I was like, all right, cool. I gotta leave my wife. I gotta leave my ex-wife alone. I gotta walk away. I had to walk that walk. And I didn't know what was next, which was crazy.
And that's why I say a lot of times that
what the hell happened?
I don't like the expression or term or saying where they say Black men aren't truly loved unless they are providing financially. And that may be the narrative for some, but that is not the narrative for most. It is not the narrative for the majority either, because a good portion of Black men are cared for outside of what they are able to provide, outside of what they are able to bring to the table financially, because, and this is no shot at the Black men, but because Black women are actually the majority breadwinners in a good portion of households based on the opportunities for Black women to receive education, funding, all of those kind of things. So it's definitely a different thing, because it's not just a matter of like, we only love y'all if y'all got money. Shit, my love, I had the best relationship when we didn't have no money.
But you see, that's probably what you're offering.
But I'm just saying in general,
in general, my best relationships.
That's not when we didn't have no money, because that's where our creativity came in. That's where our intentionality came in. That's where we were more focused on each other. And then as we did start like doing things and gaining financial growth and all of that kind of stuff, it got more difficult simply because we were now tackling, like, literally, like the song say, more money, more problems. Like, it's literally a thing, simply because as you get more money, there are more things that you are trying to obtain, more things you are trying to handle, more things you are trying to put together where your life makes sense in this way. And you're trying to achieve an outer appearance of success, not just an inner feeling of success. So we try to line our lives up to look like success based on everybody else's definition instead of our own.
Yeah. You adding more expenses.
But you got to understand that too. There's some men that are carrying a load, not only for their immediate family, but for their outside family.
And we got.
I'm absolutely sure of that.
We definitely got to break that.
And the funny thing about it is, it's like that's what the funny, like, they're not being supported mentally on no ends.
And the reason for that, a lot of people talk about their love language, but people don't know how to show love.
Yeah,
like, people always want to learn how to receive it. People don't know how to show love.
Because it's never been shown to them.
That'd be a big
never been shown to them. So they don't know how to.
They don't know how
to give it to somebody else. And they actually, a lot of them, they really don't know how to take it in either, because you've not been taught what the word love really means.
They can't recognize what it
is.
They
can't recognize it when they see it. They be like, "Oh, you tripping? No, you just want to be around. You smothering me. No, that's really not what it is." A lot of people don't understand what the word, and that's men and women. They don't understand what the word love is and what it means, because they've never really felt it, and they've never been taught what it is.
So a lot of people don't understand what love is to them. Right. So when we talk about love languages and things like that, I know I'm a combination of all. And I know, depending on the day or the mood, this particular love language sits out more than that. So depending on what I'm going through, I may need more quality time, or I may need an act of service, or I just may need you to tell me I'm pretty today. Like, it just depends on the mood. And I think a lot of people don't take the time to get to learn their person, as well as getting to learn their own. So then when you learn your person's love language, then you know how they receive love. So now you're going to try to figure out how do I show them that this is how I love them, because this is how they recognize what love is. But then also being able to understand that sometimes people show up in their love language. So if their love language is this is pretty much what they're what they're giving. And also being able to receive it when they're giving it to you, because this is how they show love. And I think people just end up clashing in those spaces. And Moses, I wanted to fall back on something where you said where a lot of men, or where you were just doing like the majority of the comparison of women being able to provide or do something. I forget which part it was. But I think what ends up happening is this disconnect, right? You have a bunch of women who are very soft and they speak life into men. And then you have the men who take it and they take advantage of it, right? So you have that part. And then you have the men who are the providers and they're doing their part, or what society says is their part as a man. And then you have the women who are taking advantage of it and say, "Oh, this is what you're supposed to do because you're a man, blah, blah, blah," anyway. And then we always constantly find ourselves, those people end up finding we're more of the people pleasers. So we're trying to constantly get those people who don't appreciate or accept it to appreciate and accept something, instead of leaving those situations and finding somebody who actually accepts and appreciates what we bring and what we offer to the table, and then we end up, that's how you create people being scorned or holding on to like all of this baggage, like the unhealthy soul ties and all this other obsessive thinking and everything that is being posted in the chat. And then those behaviors start to come, and how it like it traps you into a mental loop. And now you're like, you get to the point where you like, the moment somebody gives you some type of form of something that you received before, you shut down, you push away, you like, nah, because I seen this before.
Yeah. So one of the things I was gonna say, Ayla, was there's a misconception when it comes to love languages. When we take the love languages quiz and you see that this one has a high score and the rest of them have lower scores, we all are a combination of all of the love languages. There are certain ones that speak to us more in certain times of life. So at one point, I was very, very high on the quality time spectrum. But as my life changed and I started doing more things, now my quality time is still my top one, but now it is more so even with acts of service, simply because I might need you to do some stuff because I can't do as much as I used to. So I might need you to do some things for me. I might need you to go pick up my groceries, or just volunteering to do those things for me because you see I'm busy. And so we're all a combination of those things. So it does make a difference depending on where we are in life. But also, the love languages are my love language to you, but also the way that I want my love language to be received. So we have two different ways of loving. It's the way I give and the way that I receive. So I think my top way to give love is words of affirmation. I will.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
But then also right behind that, I'm a gift giver. Right behind words of affirmation, I give gifts. And then right behind that is physical touch. You know what I'm saying? And so, well, quality time, then physical touch. But the way I want to receive love, I want quality time, I want physical touch, then I want words of encouragement, then I want gifts. You know what I'm saying? So there's a different order of how we give and then how we receive the love. So I think what causes so much chaos in relationships is because people will be like, what's your love language? And they tell you what their love language is. But then we don't take the time to figure out their love language when it comes to giving love. We learn their love language on how they receive love, but we don't necessarily know their love language when it comes to, so it's like, we got to figure that part out because we are missing a step. And then it causes all of this other bullshit and chaos in relationships because we're missing part of it. No, this one, I told you my love language was quality time and you don't never spend no time with me. Well, did you consult?
I told you I was gift giving. You don't give me no gifts. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so it's like sometimes you got to look at what the person is giving, because sometimes they may be giving you the quality time, which is the gift from them, because they don't like quality time. They may not like physical touch, but they done sat here and cuddled with you and spent time with you and all those other kind of things. So it just, I think a lot of times that is an excuse to not do the work. To try to understand and learn the person that you're dealing with. But I want to read this comment from Unknown Journey. He said, boys are put on an emotional lockdown when they develop into men. We miss ties. This prevents us from looking beyond. We miss good connections because we focus on the wrong thing.
That part.
Yeah.
I had to learn that with my mom. I did not know how my mom, showed love.
Hey, Sugar Dumpling. I'm glad you hopped in the comments. I saw your message.
She's military, so she's hard at all times. you know, and I had to be hard at all times, you know. So as we got older and I got the therapy and I told her, you know, what bothered me as a kid, that's probably, I think I was like 40 when I first saw my mom like really cry, you know, like, because other than that, she sucked it up and she went in her room, and you know how moms do this, they go in their room and kids don't need to see that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I had to learn how she showed love, you know, like, boy, you know, I love you. You know, boy, I'm just playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to learn that from my mama. So, and I realized dealing with my mom like that, the earlier women in my life were similar. They were hard, you know what I'm saying? Not showing love women, you know, like, because that's what I knew. I knew nothing else, you know. And then when I really wanted the soft woman, I didn't know how to treat her. And, you know, I'll be the first one to admit that. So, shout out to y'all watching.
Shout out to y'all if y'all watching.
Shout out to y'all if y'all watching. I fully understand that. I fully understand that. That's why, like, a lot of times when I say, like, how I operate is what I saw, it wasn't necessarily what I saw my mom do with my dad, because my father passed when I was younger, but it was more so just how I saw my mom operate as a woman. Not just like, I never really saw my mama fully operate like in a romantic relationship, because like my dad was similar like any old school dad, James Evans, you know, Carl Winslow, you know, that kind of dad. He was very stoic, very, you know, I'm the daddy, you know, like that kind of thing. So,
do as I say.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I do, all of that kind of shit. And so that's how my dad was. But I saw my mom just over time fully be this beacon of love on all occasions at all times. And so even when people spoke about my mom, like one of the things that I always laugh at is my godmama told us that your mama was the only woman I've ever known who was happy every time she got pregnant. Every pregnancy, she bopping around here like she done hit the lottery. You know what, Doc? But
he got the stuff.
That was just what I feel like that was what she understood as her life's purpose, was to create life, to be love, to be light, to be beauty. And so that's how she was. And so everything that we experienced in our childhood, and so when we talk about our childhood, it was grandiose. It was, you know, my mama did everything big. And so even when I be talking about doing shit, y'all be like, Leo, you know what, really? So it's learned. That's who I got it from. I learned to think big, dream big. Hell, every Christmas we was wondering what was gonna get, and then you come out and it's the whole living room is full. So those kind of things, like Pablo said, are learned. And how my brothers operate as Black men. My oldest brother is the real calm one. You know, I can talk to you, I can listen to you, you know, and his voice is very calming and very soothing and very, you know, and he'll never really get loud, you know, and I'm like, damn, I wish I could be like that. But it was also like him growing up in that space. He was the oldest, he was responsible, he was this, he was that. And so even witnessing him grow and become more of himself, the one thing I can say is that I never saw my oldest brother hide his feelings or emotions. And maybe that was something my mama instilled in him because he was the firstborn, the only child. And my second oldest brother is the total opposite, unless he is in the space where he needs to be emotional or needs to cry. So I say all of that to say that we do have to understand that our upbringing, the things that we've learned, the things that we've encountered, sets us up for how we become in the future, how we attach ourselves to people, how we end up in some of the situations where we end up with a negative soul tie. When we end up with a negative connection and we like, God damn, how did I end up here? And we be out here questioning. But sometimes we end up with negative soul ties because we be out here hunching.
I gotta stop hunching.
Because we be out here hunching.
Hunching to get you messed up.
Man.
Let me tell y'all something. So when you talking about the hunching, I was listening to, I told you earlier, I was listening to Ricky Smiley, right? So today is Tuesday. So they have this thing called Paternity
Test Tuesday.
Lord.
So I went down a rabbit hole of all of the previous Paternity Test Tuesdays. And I'm like, this is just so messy. Like messy. And some of the people were really young. But the ones that got me were the ones that was older. I think the last one I heard was a woman who was 47, has a 2-year-old. All of her kids are grown. Her oldest is like 30. She had a baby with a man who is 58. His name Clarence or whatever the case may be. And they sitting over there having this, they got a 2-year-old. And it was just so messy and so dramatic. And I was just like, it's so crazy how us as a people, I don't even want to say it's just Black people. I just think it's just as a people in general, no matter just the human species, how toxic and toxic, selfish, and unaware we are in a lot of the decisions that we make, and unbeknownst to us, the soul ties that we create. Because it was a few people that were on there that were married, and they're
the one today.
Yeah,
the one for today. He was married. Well, they were separated, and he met a girl at Red Lobster.
Girl, it was so.
He was flirting with the waitress. He left her $100 tip as a way to flex, and then they got to talking, and then after a week, they ended up having sex. He ghosted her for a month. He came back. She was pregnant. He never told her nothing about his estranged wife, that they wasn't, and he never told his wife about her either. Yeah. And they end up having a baby. The baby is 13 months. The girl was, I think she was like 26. I can't remember how old the dude was. But yeah, it was messy.
Messy.
All the time.
Messy. And most of the men that were on there were not, like a good majority of the ones that I did hear, a lot of those men were married. And that's what I mean by, and some of them was going through their issues. Some like we separated, okay, all that other stuff in between. Okay, cool. But that's what I mean by, and a good portion of these were like she said, they met in a week, smashed in a week, met that day, smashed that day, and now you got a child.
Yep.
Y'all, it's like y'all really got to be more careful with y'allselves. And then women too.
I need to let y'all know. All right.
Women too, because it was women on there that's just like, oh, I met him at New Orleans. We was at the Mardi Gras. He was fine, so I gave him some. So you gave him some, he fine, and now you pregnant. And then it come to find out wasn't even that man's baby. So ain't no telling who she smashed, right?
Well, at Mardi Gras, the lines at CVS is long. Okay, nobody trying to sit in them lines.
Whatever the case may be,
why you ain't bring none with you?
People got to be more careful with themselves, and that's it. That's all. You got to be more careful with yourself, and you just giving away. Like, it was women that saw the men. Like, 2 of the cases, the woman pursued the man knowing he was married. The wife is right there, and she slid the number.
Oh wow!
And got mad. Like, well, I guess you're gonna go back to your wife, ma'am. He was all married when you slid him the number.
If she was doing what she was doing, you wouldn't have took the number.
Exactly. You gave him the pass to tap it. Now he tapped it, and he going back to his wife, and you feel away. And that's what I mean by people just got to be more. It's too much.
This is thumbnail right here.
The selfish and honestly, that's not a form of loving yourself when you think about it.
But when you're going through a divorce, I'm sorry, your head is not there.
It's okay if you're going through a divorce and your head isn't there, but a good portion of these men were all the way married.
Yeah.
All the way.
And she's saying you gotta protect yourself too.
You have to protect yourself.
but that's the thing. Well, all right, so I'm only talking for the divorce part. The married part, listen. But like when you're going through a divorce, you don't know what the hell you're doing. You don't know what you like. You're such in a vulnerable, crazy spot. Like it's like, and everything's coming.
You're smashing everything when you divorce. Huh? Just smashing anything?
No. He was going through his whole phase.
That's what you would do your whole phase during the divorce. That's wild.
There's a lot of men that do that. I mean, it's a lot of women.
There's a lot of women who do that too.
It's a lot of
normal.
It's a lot of people that do that.
Like I
didn't want to be bothered. I did not.
I can't even say that Moses said that's normal. I can't even see that as being
that is
normal. That's normal for some people.
Mechanism.
Yeah, but my thing is, from my divorce, I was just so confused. It was like you didn't know how to feel. You felt disappointed within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You felt
like a failure.
Yeah, you felt like a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Like more than anything, you felt like a failure. You felt like a failure, and then after that, like you had to go. Like, I think that's when I was going through that. Then my mom got really sick, so now I was spending more one-on-one time with my mom, and then just to go back to her to feel to be like, yo, you don't really feel
empathy.
Yeah, you just wanna you're numb.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the time, you're waking up and you don't even know your life is on cruise control.
Mm-hmm. You got to find yourself out of because you're technically mourning. You're in mourning, and so, I think
a thought process and be honest, it's so funny because that's why I really do think Leo, because I think she was probably one of the main ones that actually was like, yo, what's good? My cousin was like another one who was like, what are you doing? Like he was constantly asking me that question. That was the first thing he would, what are you doing? And if you don't have somebody who's really in your little, when you're going through that emotional, dog, you're lost. You're done.
Let me tell you, the village is important.
Yeah, you're lost.
The village is important because my village kept me. You hear me? Like you talking about Leo and the aunties, my girls, my besties, my sisters, my family. Like had it not, some of his family, like had it not been for certain people in my life during that time, I don't know, because I think like people, I'm not doing any comparison with people who have never been married, right? I don't know that process. I just know that I've been in a relationship and broke up, and then I've been in a marriage and broke up. And those emotions were not the same. It was not the same. That was not the same. No. That was a boy. And so I think, and those soul ties, I think is I don't know how to explain what that soul tie feels like, other than, like I said, it feels like mourning. Honestly, it feels like you lost a piece of you because you tied yourself. Yourself to
this a bigger responsibility.
Because
it feel like a bigger responsibility when you're married as opposed to being in just a relationship.
As opposed to and then on top of that, you're seeing a future, right? You have planned your life out.
That's where it goes. Yeah, that's where it goes.
So it's this whole thing of life plan on. It redirects your whole. It redirects your life. You know what I mean? Everything is redirected. Nothing is the same. And a good portion of the time, some of us are never the same after that. It's just like it's just like my mom just posted a death experience. Some of us aren't the same after we lose people. Sometimes it makes us worse, sometimes it makes us better, sometimes it makes us worse before it makes us better.
I also think in those instances, like I can't speak on it when it comes to marriage, but I definitely can speak on it when it comes to like the death experience and kind of what Moses was saying, where it's a coping mechanism. Like literally going through your whole phase is a coping mechanism. Like, and it's a weird fucking space to be in. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird space to be in because, and I think I talked about it on the PGC After Dark. I was about to say the aunties on PGC After Dark, where it was either there or here, where I talked about how I went through my whole phase, like after being with somebody 8 years, then breaking up. I went through a little bit of a whole phase, you know, try to get myself back on track. And then I lost my mama. And I was like, well, there's that. There's no more. It's about to be hoe is life from here on out, you know, for a while. And it was. And it was simply because it was a coping mechanism, but it was also in those spaces and in those times, like I didn't want to be here no more. So I didn't care. I didn't care about myself enough to be like, well, I'm not just gonna be fucking. Nah, it was like I really don't even care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
It comes to a point you just want to feel something.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Like it becomes a point where I just want to feel something, even for a moment, even if I don't even really care. And it would be like I would have sex, and then I'd be like, all right, bye. Don't get comfortable. Don't put your feet up. Don't roll over and be sleepy. Bye. Your moment has passed. Get out. And that was literally how it was for a while. And so even after that, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of therapy. It took a lot of even understanding where I was at that point in time in my life to know that that's what I was dealing with, to know that that's what was going on. And I'm like, God damn, that's what it was. So even with those kind of experiences, we don't even recognize the soul ties we're creating in those experiences with people. And then we just end up dealing with the repercussions of those soul ties sometimes, because we be like, God damn, why my shit can't get right? Why I can't get my shit on point?
Everything starts to fall apart. Things start failing. Nothing's going right. Because ultimately, you are constantly like Mama said, your pain manifests into bad behavior. So now you're just out here reckless.
I mean, I don't think I was reckless.
And like when you have a soul tie, it's almost like
soul ties.
Did you say that?
I said you created more soul ties.
Yeah, like so it's like I equate it to like having a pet. You know what I mean? Like you had a pet for so long, and then the pet runs away or whatever, or the pet dies. You come home and you be like, you know, your muscle memory is to where the pet, like, oh, they're not here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what a soul tie is to me. You're so connected to that person, the muscle memory doesn't leave you of, well, me and this person do this. So if you walk past the ice cream shop that you and them did, you know what? Like, oh, I remember that summer. That brings back that emotional. You know what I mean? Like, you be like, I ain't want that ice cream no more. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't eat certain stuff no more. Like you can't hear certain names no more.
Real nice to you, like, hey, I just went over to such and such. I went over such and such, got you a banana split. I don't even eat banana splits no more, dog. Don't even worry about it. Don't even trip on it. Go and keep that.
Can't go to Applebee's no more.
I ain't even gonna lie, like,
yeah, bro.
I remember
no more dollar margaritas, bro. We good.
No more dollar margaritas for me.
one of the things that happened to me, it was stuff like that where it was like, I don't want to have certain type of food anymore or do certain things. But then it was also, I don't want to hear certain names because his name was so common. So, or it would be, or it got to a point where I was just like, I just don't want to be around men.
Whoa, that part.
I didn't want to be around men because I was at a space where I'm like, y'all are disgusting, selfish, absorbed succubus of people. At least that's how I felt at that time. Like it was like my spirit in that moment was just like, y'all are horrible individuals. Now, mind you, I had to I have men in my life where I looked at where I've seen them be like these amazing men or these messed up men and then learn and become better, right? And that is always the hope. But I know that finding like the type of person or man or whatever that I feel like will fulfill for me or who God has for me, I know that'll come around. Whenever it comes around, I'm jumping head first, right? But at that time when all of that happened, it was really hard for me to just be around men and light-skinned men. I had a thing against y'all. I definitely had a thing against light-skinned men. But honestly, when you are in those spaces, right? When you are in those spaces, you pick like the silliest and the smallest
I can't
things because you just mad or you're and you just don't want to be reminded.
I get it.
And the messed up thing about a soul tie is that it sits with you for so long that you're still thinking about this spirit of this person even after they're gone.
Yes.
And you don't want to think about them, so you're trying to dissolve of anything that makes you think about.
And God forbid you have a conversation with that person while you're trying to break that soul tie. That's when the real bad shit happens.
Oh, you try to have a conversation with them?
You talking to them?
Some people do.
Because some people need closure.
I don't need closure.
And you know what happens to closure, right? Openings.
I don't need closure.
And then now you got another soul tie.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You can open up some stuff.
We good.
Auntie Michelle said, desperate hearts do desperate things, and going through a divorce puts you in such a spin out. Your mind and heart aren't congruent at all, and you are lost. And so is your good judgment. Absolutely.
Auntie Michelle over there with the SAT words. That's
right. Crazy. Well, you know, look.
Not the SAT word.
I read, so I was able to pull it up.
She must have ChatGPT as a keyboard.
Something. Jeez.
Not you use ChatGPT.
Not you need ChatGPT for congruent. What?
Yeah, the name thing is serious.
No, that name thing is crazy.
Yeah, especially when they have a common, like a super common name. Right, yeah.
Being reminded, like if you're trying to release yourself from somebody, but their name is common. So you see the name everywhere, you recognize it.
Like George. Yeah, I know my exes is going through it. They hate to see the George coming right now. I tell you that right now.
Wow.
Man, yeah.
Oh, man.
For sure.
Like when I first met you, Pablo, I was like, oh, it's my dad's name. Like that was my thing. Was like for that name in particular. But also I got like 900 Georges in my family. So yeah.
Yeah, lady at my school, she said that. She said, we're Greek, so everybody's middle name is George. I was like, huh, okay.
Like I said, I got daddies, uncles, cousins, my daddy, uncles, cousins, and they kids, and it's my granddaddy.
So, but again, shout out to them. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm so sorry.
So, I was putting the information in regard. You know what? I was putting the information in regards to like the effects of the negative soul ties. So we talked about emotional drainage, but also let me give you the other three. So loss of identity, When you're overly connected to someone in a toxic way, it can lead to a loss of your own sense of self. You may start to prioritize the other person's needs, opinions, and emotions over your own, losing touch with who you are. Difficulty forming new relationships. Negative soul ties can prevent you from forming healthy connections with others. You might find yourself repeating toxic relationship patterns or struggling to open up to new people. And then last but not least, obsessive thoughts. An unhealthy soul tie can cause obsessive thinking about the person, making it hard to focus on anything else. It can trap you in a mental loop where you replay past experiences or feel overly attached.
Yeah, so when y'all constantly checking on their Instagram page or their Facebook page to see if they still married,
talk about it.
That's a soul tie, people.
Talk about it,
let
Pablo,
that go. Just go ahead and block them. Just go ahead and block them.
At that point, you gotta block them and take them out your phone and stop going back to them past text messages too.
Apple,
you need to delete all of that.
You need to delete
the text messages, delete the phone number, delete the pictures, delete all of it. Because now you sitting around and you consumed all of your day because you over here on their Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. You looking at that. You even went on LinkedIn.
Right.
Who did?
Oh yeah, I see y'all new job.
Congratulations. You need a little bit of Jesus if you on LinkedIn.
Jesus, because now you on the LinkedIn page. They not doing nothing over there.
Why special stalker?
Delete everybody.
Oh, so I saw you like your boss's picture on
right.
LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. So I saw you applying for a new job. What's that about?
I thought you was applying.
Not applying for a new job.
Congratulations on your promotion.
Like I have experienced that. I experienced a person who was like taking everything that I was posting and making it personal. And I was like, wait, like that didn't even have nothing to do with you. Like, what are you talking about? That was not even in connection to you or anything that you thought I might have been saying to you. But that shit was,
It's a coincidence.
It makes your eye twitch. Okay.
And so that's convenient. Okay. You talking about onion rings when you know I eat onion rings.
Right.
Right. What?
Right. When you know my favorite food is onion rings, but you always talking about onion rings. You trying to drop subliminals.
Right. First of all, I'm not gonna give you no subliminal message. If I wanted to say something, I'm just gonna say it to you.
What?
You know I'm allergic to tomatoes, and you gonna bring tomatoes up. Okay.
Right. You know I don't like tomatoes. What?
Not you know I don't like tomatoes.
That you don't like them. I wasn't even talking about you. We were just having a conversation about tomatoes.
I just said he left the tomatoes off my sandwich. That's all I said.
Right.
These them kind of people. This is them.
Yep.
Exactly.
This how they end up in your face and on some other shit. That's them kind of people.
Damn, how the hell you got a picture of Chucky that fast?
Crazy. Because she keep it in her arsenal.
Yeah, you got a picture of Chucky that fast. Wait a minute.
It's already over.
Leo, keep that picture on that. That's Leo
I got
right there.
2 pictures of Chucky. Is this one too?
That one is me. That's me.
Right
the
now.
Fuck? That's how Chucky looking like. The fuck?
Right
That's me all day. I'm that
right
Chucky.
But yeah, like those are the kind of people that like it'd be like, bro, what?
It look like she
But I've found myself in that space before too. Like trying to see what they posting, when they posting, and all of that kind of stuff. And I had to talk myself down, like, girl, you need to calm the fuck down. Like, let it go. Just delete, just block, just do all of the things Anisha said, because otherwise it was going to be a full-on, like, I was consuming too much of them. And I'm like, yeah, damn, you wasn't even that amazing of a person. So what the fuck?
Right. What am I doing? I'm like you.
The connection wasn't even that deep. So
the sex wasn't that good either, but yeah.
Exactly. And look at me. It wasn't even all that good. And look at me now. I'm on every social media page that you got.
Right, I'm on your mama page.
I'm checking with your fam because I done hung out with the fam and I'm friends with all of them because I'm trying to see if you was with them with somebody. Come on, man. This is too much.
And I was having my homegirl play detective and look up information and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, look this up for me, boo.
And then also doing the stuff in the midst of the
y'all don't need to know who my source is, but
and also doing the stuff in the midst of the relationship. Shoot, before the relationship is even over, doing it in the midst of it. I was good for that. I found out so much stuff at one point. I was like, I feel like I should probably be working for the FBI. The way I found things out, I knew addresses, I knew locations, I knew timestamps, I knew what their grandma name was, the phone number. I knew too much information because I was too consumed in that. That's
too damn attached.
And that's why I tell people all the time, like, as far as honesty is concerned, if you're gonna do whatever or be whatever with somebody, always be honest, because people gonna be how they're gonna be regardless, right? Because I am a stickler for I will find out, and let me tell you how I'm gonna find out. I don't even have to look for it. It come to me. It come to me every single time, and I will sit here and act like I don't know.
I was about to say, so you got to be one of them people like me, where like I know it all.
I know it all.
But I don't even never know that I know, because I'm gonna move the same way I've been moving.
I'm not gonna change it.
I'm not gonna switch up on you. But see, I know when you start switching up on me, that hey, it's something going on. And here's the thing: I know all of it, but in the quiet way, when it all hit the fan, I'm gonna hit you with I know this, and all of this, and they be like, damn, you know what time, day, hour, minute. I can tell you to the second, all of it. But then that's when you feel like I tell people, when you go looking for stuff, you find out stuff that you really don't want to find. Are you sure you want to know this?
Are you sure
why you want to pick up this man's phone? Why you want to pick up that her phone? You sure you want to go through that? You sure you want to find out?
You sure you want to be
can you handle the truth? Because my whole thing is hurt people, and be honest with people up front and tell them how you feeling and what your intentions are. Because hurt people,
hey, my love,
literally hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So watch what you. Because
this be me. Let me tell y'all, this be me.
And when you came home, it's still out there.
I ain't mad though.
And not at all.
Not on my mad though.
I ain't mad at all. You mad? Not at all.
But you know what's also nuts, and I'm not gonna say nuts because we're not trying to pass judgment, right? But going and looking for something, not finding it, and then being mad because you didn't.
Mad because you ain't find.
Mad because you didn't find nothing.
Why you mad because you ain't find nothing? Who told your ass to go look in?
What you go look for?
So now you mad because you ain't find nothing. What?
That's why I'm mad.
That's why, because I ain't find nothing. So you were expect. Okay, so you took your dumb ass. And
so you mean to tell me you ain't doing nothing?
You ain't doing nothing at all. And now you mad because they ain't doing nothing.
Because we need a reason why. We need a reason why things aren't going the way we want them to go. Right. If you're not showing up for me like this, if you're not doing this for me like that, if you're not,
you gotta be doing it for somebody else.
You gotta be doing it for somebody else.
And then, but we never even stop to think about maybe they just don't know how.
Maybe they just don't know how.
See how you brought it back,
how. It's not that they doing it for somebody else. It's just that, hell, they don't know how. And we never really gave them the option to say, hey, I know you need this part from me, but I don't really know how to do that. So be easy with me. I'm trying to learn. And now you pissed like, no, because you was doing the woo wop the back. No.
And it goes to being teachable and being learned.
Right. Show them how to. Sometimes you got to show a person how to love you.
You got to pop up and show them.
You got to pop up.
You got to
do it. Okay? Because some of them just truly, honestly don't know how. You can't give what you don't have. You can't do what you don't know. So hell, they didn't know how to do it. And you thinking that they doing it for somebody else. No, damn it. They just didn't know how. And they scared to tell you because you're going to act a damn fool.
And
because of how you already acting.
From not knowing or being in spaces where they didn't give you the space to transition into somebody who they want to do those things for. Right. Like, they didn't want to do this before. Like, I didn't want to do all that shit before you. I didn't want to do this before I got with you, but I want to do it, but I don't know how to execute it. Exactly. I don't know how to do this because I ain't never been taught, like you were saying. And so then it's a matter of us, like, trying to fill in that space and, like, show them what that's like. Mm-hmm. And I know for myself, if we're having a conversation and you don't let me know that you don't know something, it's not that I'm expecting you to just be able to do it, but I try to make it a safe space for you to tell me that you don't know how to do certain things at some point. Mm-hmm. And like Pablo tickles me all the time because he be like, yeah, Leo whooped my ass with love. I'll tell you. Whooping me. Because when I first met Pablo, and then after we started working together and all of that kind of stuff, and after a while, y'all know I say, all right, love y'all. I say that all the time. I say that to people just in general conversation because I do genuinely love y'all. So when I first met Pablo, and I would be like, or when we started like working together and kind of knowing each other a little bit more, and I'd be like, all right, I'll holler at you later, G. Love you. And he'd be like, all right, bye. And I'd be like, okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Not the face. Okay. Not the face.
Yeah. Okay. The first time, I'm like,
right, because look, he didn't know how to take it in. He was that one that didn't know how to take it in. Like, wait, what?
He didn't know how to receive it.
He didn't know. And then after having a conversation, that's what he told me. And the more I kept saying, what you talking about? You don't know. Or like he would literally just not say it. He would not say it at all. And I'd be like,
that's the face. That's
really? And I literally would be like, something about this shit ain't sitting right with my spirit. I don't like this. I don't like this.
With them arms folded like that.
It's the arms folded.
Listen, Pablo said that face look like man, and so it honestly does.
That does look like a face you'll make.
And I just kept like, well, maybe he don't know, or you know what I'm saying, or maybe that's not something that he says on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. And then we ended up having a conversation, and he was like, "Oh, that word it's too much for me to say sometimes, or it's hard for me to say that all the time or whatever." And I was like, oh, okay. You know, so I didn't take offense. It wasn't that I took offense to it initially. It was just like, oh. Yeah. You don't say that to people. It was more
right, because it's so
like, common for the reciprocation. Yeah, I love you too.
Then, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, okay then. But after a while, he was more so like, one, I've had to realize, that people have to get used to my kind of love. Mm-hmm. Like, cause it's loud. My love ain't quiet. My love is very loud, very upfront.
Loud, heavy, hard.
If I fucks with you, I fucks with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I am. But I'm also gonna love on you. I'm gonna love on you when you wrong, when you right, all of the things. Mm-hmm. So you saying that's how loud my love is, Pablo?
Yes, Lord.
And I have learned over time to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. Because at first I didn't know how to be okay with how I express love or how I love on people and all of that kind of stuff. But again, I'm like, that's where the fuck I came from. I don't know how not to express love or how not to be, you know, loving on my people out loud. That's why I can't be in no private situation. Because I want to love on my person out loud. Like, you ain't have to be out loud in front. Everybody ain't got to know.
Yeah.
But everybody ain't got to know, but yeah.
But I'm going to do it out loud.
Yeah, and so.
I say I love you to my male friends.
Yeah, more. And then that's why I started laughing because I think it was Well,
did Doc just say I can't with Doc? I can't. Doc just said if I say I love you to a man in 2020,
I just read that. I was like, oh,
they gonna think I went to a Diddy party.
I think it was around Christmas. Was that year before last? When you finally was like, I love you, Leo. And I was like, oh, look at this guy. And then recently he said it to everybody first.
He said it to everybody first.
What?
Everybody's like, hello.
That man been in therapy.
Wait, and then hung up.
Yeah, hung up quick.
And then hung
up quick. He was gone.
He showed, listen, when I tell you, Pablo said, all right, love y'all.
It just clicked out.
He was out.
It was gone.
He said at first everybody was shocked, and next thing you know, before we can even say it back, that man was gone. He was like, all right, nope, I don't need all of that. I'm gone.
I said what I needed to say.
Man,
yeah, but giving each other those spaces in that room to be loved and be loved on, all of that kind of shit, like we gotta shift the narrative and how our Black men are loved on, how our Black women are loved on, because there are so many podcasts that talk about divisive things, and in our beautiful ass podcast over here, we be talking about the connections and the coming together, and even on Sarcarigans, and it's a lot of other podcasts that talk about bridging that gap between Black men and Black women and bringing us back together and having those moments where Black men and Black women are truly, truly loving on each other, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to come out of all of the shit that we're in. It's through love. It ain't going to be through shit else. Yeah. Love and communication and connection. That's what we're going to do.
And doing the work.
That's the only way it's going to work. But we got to start setting some boundaries.
And then also, I was in like real heavy toxic relationships early on where I couldn't say I love you to someone else if it wasn't her, because she'd be like,
got it,
what you mean you love her? Like, how you love her?
Because you know what it was her own,
it was her own
bringing off on you, because you just genuinely are loving on other people, and she couldn't accept that if I'm not gonna get it all, you ain't gonna give it to nobody.
Yeah, that was the whole
saying that to other people thing. was now her trigger, and that's the hard part about it, because some people just somebody else that don't know that because he can love me, her, and it's different type of love.
It's different types of love.
It's a different type of love with them than it is with me. So it's not the same thing. So how can I be upset because he said I love you to somebody else? But it was her own insecurities that she had to deal with her, and she portrayed them off onto you. So which means here's another that soul tie. You didn't shut yourself down. You didn't dim your light because you stopped being who you were because she didn't like it, or because he didn't like it, or because they don't like it,
because they insecurity wouldn't allow them to,
and they own and it's something, and the gist of it is something that I had to learn as well, because with me loving on people, I love you and I'm a rock hard with you, but I say I fuss at you, but it's in a good way. And if I don't say anything to you, that's when you should worry about me, because I don't give a fuck what's gonna happen to you, what you do when I get quiet on you. But when I'm fussing at you, it's because I can see past all the hurt, all the bullshit, everything that you've been through. I see past all of that and see that it's an amazing human being in that. And you can do it, but you got to get out your own way. And I had to learn how to get out of my own way. So it was just like this weekend, because I do table talk, and I did it this weekend. And I give a safe space for you to have conversation, for you to open up. And I tell everybody, when I let you into I'm selective about people that I let into this, because anytime that I hear you have any conversation that happened to me in that space, it's me and you, because I take everybody that I put into that space. I love them wholeheartedly, and hard. And what you're not going to do is disrupt their healing, their development, their deliverance. You are not going to disrupt any of that. And they said it to me this weekend. We get it now. Your love language to us is to fuss at us because I see it. I already see what you can do and see who you are. It is not because I'm just fussing or just raw. I just want you to understand you got it. You got it. Now use it.
Yeah, I don't just be fussing to be fussing.
I don't just to be fussing just to be fussing, man.
I knew she was about to say something. I was waiting for
it. Use it. Use what you got.
Just be fussing, girl.
Like with Leo, I don't take anything personal because I see me and her and me. I'm like, she doing it.
I did at first.
Yeah, some people will take
and at first when I first had the conversation with her, I said, "Oh, okay, she gonna go. She goes hard for everybody, and she does it because she genuinely loves you, and she see what you got, but you bullshitting with it, and she trying to get you to open it up. Like, hey, you don't hear what I'm saying? Like, really?" And it's not that, and it's not to hurt your feelings in any way. Yes, it's gonna sting a little bit because you standing in your own way, and you be like, and when you sit and think about what she say, you be like, damn, she was telling the truth. I can't even be mad at her. I can't be mad at
first met Leo, she spoke so harshly, because when I first met her, she was kind, all bubbly Leo, because she was doing an interview. We was doing an interview, so she was just nice. Then when we started talking, and I had to realize that she cared. And
and you get the real version. You got the real version.
And I wasn't used to somebody caring for me outside of the realm of being in a relationship or my family. I wasn't used to that. Because even my best friend, I consider him family. So anybody else, it was like they want something from me, but Leo was just like, you dope.
You dope, and I don't want nothing from you but to show your dope.
To show you your dope.
That's all I want you to do.
And for you to tap into it, and for you to embrace it.
I want you to tap into what you got. I don't want nothing from you. Just tap into what you got. That's all I want you to do.
That'd be the problem.
What you say,
Leo,
Moses?
That's the problem. Me and Leo have meetings because we literally don't want nothing from each other. So we be trying to have a meeting like, what do you need from me? I'm like, I don't know.
What are y'all talking about? I never met.
Then we end up be like, how was your day? And then we forget about it. We don't even worry about it.
Because I think the issue there is that we really just be trying to figure out, like, because we're so used to doing everything that we be like, damn, what do I need for somebody else to do? And then if I did tell somebody else to do it,
are they really gonna do it, and are they really?
Would I be okay with the way?
Are you gonna be okay with letting them do it?
Without trying to go back and fix it my goddamn self.
That part,
relinquishing the control.
Because I would definitely go behind the scenes, like.
Yeah, I'm definitely learning. I mean, I am learning to be okay that if I hand some shit off and say do this, then
let them do
it. I'm trusting that you're gonna do it. But if you give me some bullshit back, I'm just like, now.
Right.
Give me my shit back.
Exactly.
Give me my change.
And especially
what my change at?
When you know how good they are.
How good they are.
Especially when you know how good they are, and that's when you feel like, okay, did you really just play in my face? I know that you can do this a hell of a lot better than this, and you just gave this to me like this. You gotta be. Are you for real?
I'm so happy that
that's when you come back with the fuss, like, okay,
I'm happy that y'all have this great relationship with Leo, because I'm not gonna lie, I just tell her to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just tell her to do everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
even though when she calls
literally,
me, like,
Moses is the opposite of me.
Yeah.
Moses be like, here, you can do it if you want to. Like, here it is. And I'll be like, hold on.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? Right. You really be like, well, wait, what's wrong? Like,
no, I'm not.
No, Moses just be like,
no, he gives it away.
No, he gives it away, but you be like, wait, why are you trying to get that to me?
So yeah, like,
and then she has the audacity to call me and be like, do you need help with anything? What do I need help with? I just told you to do everything. What do I need
you to do it? So what I need help?
Yeah,
that's literally
so I don't need no help.
Oh, I already told you what I needed. So whenever you do it,
whatever you do is whatever you do. Okay.
And whenever you do it.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Let me know when you get it done. Okay.
No. The only thing I respect about Leah, we have an understanding. I told her my weaknesses, and she has never judged me on it.
Yeah.
I love that about her. That's it.
I don't feel the point. I don't feel the need to judge people. Like
but you don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. People do that.
Yeah. I know, but I'm saying for me, I might have a judgmental thought.
You expect something different? It's stupid. It actually is insane.
It's insanity because people put you in a box of how they visualize you to be, and so therefore they create this narrative of you, and then when you don't show up that way, they mad.
Right? They created this whole person about you, and it's not even who you really are. And I'm like, Leo, who am I to judge anyway?
Listen, I told Leo,
I ain't the perfect person.
Wait a minute, what you saying?
Who am I to judge anybody?
Yeah, once I told Leo I'm not here, she was like, "Okay, what you need?" I said, "Look, I'm not here. I don't know what I need." I told her I didn't even know what I need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on autopilot. I've been telling. Listen, for the last 2 years, I've been on autopilot. I deal with stuff as they need to be. Right then and there. If it doesn't need to be addressed, I'm not addressing it.
Mm-hmm.
And she understood that, and she just was like, "Okay." Only thing she calls me with, "This is what I've done." Oh, okay. We could review it together.
That sounds about right.
That sound about right.
And the funny thing about it is like when we came, like I told her, I was like, "Yo, Leo, this is what I need. This is what I need to do." I told Leo.
Leo. That other show, I was like, "Yeah, we gonna sit down and talk about it." You sent me the whole synopsis,
bro. And that's
shut up, Pablo.
Pablo. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I told let me tell you something. You know what? All I told Leo, "Yo, son, I want to do something like called Crushes." Man, listen.
Whole synopsis.
20 minutes later. Bing, ding, ding, swing.
Because with some stuff, all you got to do is give us the blueprint.
I looked at my phone.
You give her the
blueprint.
But Leo be at work.
Work it. She gonna say all of that. That's all. With some of us, that's all you got to do. You give us 3-4 words, like, "Oh, okay," and
yes,
while you still talking about it, it's already.
But she's a creator, and once you get her brain going, once her mind starts, it's already so
going.
Then it just keeps going, and that's just pretty much
how
that.
She is Chat GPT.
Chat GPT is her best friend.
You put like 5 words in there,
and it loads up, and then next thing you know, she got a whole thing.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm done.
Because we didn't deviate from the task at hand.
Oh,
no,
it's not a bad thing, though.
It's not a bad thing. It's just not a bad thing. This is a soul tie. Look, everybody's explaining their soul tie. I'm explaining mine. You know, like the way I met Leo, the way y'all talk about Leo, I feel like this. Interesting. It's good. I didn't meet her like that.
Irritated.
I didn't meet her like that. I didn't really start getting to know Leo till like things got dark for me.
Right.
Because like I said, me and Leo met always on some professional stuff, whatever. We talk. I used to make fun of her on how we met, but that was about it. But me and her didn't start talking really one-on-one until stuff was dark. And then anytime she would call me, we would talk about some type of business, but I'd be like, "Yo, Leo, I think I want to do this." Everything for me would be, "I think I want to do this," and she'll just send me, "Bing, bing." I'm like, "What the?" All right, you know what? Okay, cool. But
sound about right.
Yeah, but that's why I knew she was different. She was different from day one, because I've never met somebody that you could just tell them this much and they'll give you this much, and you'd be like, it's to the point I had to tell her, "Can you stop? I'm getting overwhelmed."
Yeah.
I was getting like right. She was triggering my anxiety, which I didn't know I had.
That's her love,
like on ideas. So
yeah, that's her love, man.
Yeah, that's how she is love.
She knows, like, okay, he's struggling with this, or he can't get this put together. I'm gonna do this for him real quick. You know what I mean? Boom.
I told her I wanted to do my rebrand.
You're the type of person that'll come to your house and she'll clean your house. Like, that's the type of person Leon on.
But that goes back to us talking about soul ties and being able to accept certain things, receive certain things, and then when you know that someone is struggling in a certain department, so you pick up and you make the choice to say, because I love this person, because I care about this person, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z because they can't do this for themselves now. Or I'm going to show up in this space. So it goes back to what we were just saying as far as, and when we were talking about even in the relational aspect of it, or even in the friendship aspect of it, and just knowing that this is where your friend or your person or your partner or whatever is slacking, and knowing their love language or knowing what they need, and then showing up in that nature and showing up in that matter. That's how you recognize when you have genuine love and somebody really genuinely cares for you, because oftentimes you'll tell somebody, hey, this is what I need from you, and then they'll create a whole situation of, or synopsis, or a whole scenario of why they can't provide none of that stuff for you, or you're complaining, or you're doing too much, or
they blame the past person of, I did this,
or
they blame
something in their past, like they wanted this, that, and the third. That at the end of the day, the people that you love and you care about, guess what? You're going to show up for them. And if they ask you for something, or they say this is what they need, or this is what I need to show me love, or that this is how I recognize love, and they still don't show up for you, then I'm not going to say they don't love you, because I feel like people still love you, but
they love you differently.
Love you differently. And sometimes their love for you is not enough, or their want for you or need for you is not enough in their life, that they will make the changes and do the thing and create that space where you're feeling comfortable enough. And I think oftentimes we end up, especially those of us who have been in trauma relationships, we carry those things into the new. And so when somebody is trying to love us in a way, in a different kind of way, we are suspect to it. It's like what we were just saying, looking at trying to go through their stuff and try to find something, try to find the red flag, because it's too good to be true, or whatever the case may be. So got to be something wrong with you. Got to be an issue. You got to be something. And we do that to trick ourselves out so we don't get hurt. But then we end up hurting ourselves or hurting somebody else that is actually genuinely trying to love on us.
And then also when if you didn't do anything and they go looking, that triggers that person to go do something now. Like, so now I'm gonna give you something to look for. You know what I mean?
Or the person that's looking is already in the process of doing something. So before they make the decision,
they gotta have some ammo.
Let me have the ammo so I can go and do this bullshit that I already want to do.
That I already want to participate.
Because Freddie at the job is talking that talk, and I might want to give Freddie a little, you know what I mean?
Not Freddie. That is, first of all, that's the old ass fucking name.
That's the old nigga at the job. Old nigga at the job. Always trying to.
But I'm finna tell whoever Freddie sound like he about next to watch this show, so they can understand my love. Go watch our episode on soul ties. So you can like after that first hour, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna be like, go watch it. And then instead of, when they be like, tell me about yourself, it was a meme where somebody sent somebody like a PDF. I'ma just send them the link to this.
Yeah.
And the timestamp.
Cause this is me.
Cause the fuck. I'm over here like, so y'all just really gonna do this? Okay,
focus on the building a relationship.
But to go back to talking about the soul ties. One thing that we don't want to do is cultivate negative connections. Like if we know it's a negative connection, or if we do feel like it may be one, we got to pay attention to certain things, which a lot of us don't do. So one of the things, we got to pay attention to the red flags.
Yeah.
And as much as those red flags be waving in our face, and no, it is not a carnival. It is not a fucking carnival.
I'm just saying.
It is not Six Flags. Okay.
He says not Six
Listen,
Flags.
because we be trying. And I listen. The conversation me and aunties had earlier, I am very aware of certain red flags that's happening in my dating life, and so I've been dropping them to the aunties. Like, okay, what y'all thinking? What I'm thinking? Because I'm thinking what I'm thinking, and is y'all thinking what I'm thinking? Because I want to make sure y'all thinking it too.
Because oftentimes, depending on the person, we're trying to get the benefit of the doubt. So we trying to be like, okay, maybe this isn't a red flag.
Maybe it ain't. Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's me.
Maybe it's me.
We do that kind of shit. Maybe
all the time.
So pay attention to red flags.
I can change him. You know, maybe he ain't been loved right.
I'm not in that business no more.
No, I'm not in the business of changing.
Used to be.
Yeah.
I
maybe he ain't been loved correctly. You know,
and maybe he hasn't, but he got to be willing to want to be loved correctly.
I dissolved that.
Wanna be loved.
Early signs of manipulation, dishonesty, or emotional imbalance should not be ignored. Trust your intuition and steer clear of relationships that exhibit these traits before they form a deep bond. Set clear boundaries from the beginning. From the start of any relationship, establish boundaries to assure mutual respect and healthy engagement. Clear boundaries help prevent entanglement in toxic dynamics and protect your emotional well-being. Yeah. That's important as fuck.
Yes.
It's to set that clear motherfucking boundaries.
A little bit.
Yeah, I struggle with boundaries.
Because I struggle with boundaries. That's why I struggled with boundaries. Because if I really like somebody, I'm a quality time person. So if I really like somebody, I want to spend time. I want to be around. I want to talk to you. I want to text. I want to do all this stuff because this is a way of letting me know that we're engaged and that you're into me. So if I'm not getting those things, it leaves me in my head to think whatever it is I want to think. And then the wheels get to turning and it takes me down a spiral.
And so that's the other thing
that's
too.
Why
like
those boundaries are always important. I'm the person
that'll draw the line in the sand, and then when you cross the line, I erase it and then draw it again. Like nah, like I used to be. Let me say that before the person I started dating come watch this show. I used to be a draw a line in the sand kind of person, and you would cross that boundary, and then I would just move it. And then you cross it again and I just move it. Now, at this point, I cannot sacrifice my boundaries for anybody. And damn, I'm going to see if I can upload that video real quick because it was an awesome video about the difference between self-advocacy and setting a boundary. Because you could tell somebody, okay, don't talk to me like that. That's not setting a boundary. That's advocating for yourself. And I was like, bitch, you just blew my mind because everybody make it seem like those kind of things are it's setting a boundary. And that's not really what it is. It is literally advocating for yourself so that you have an understanding of, okay, this is what I will and won't tolerate. But then what you do after you advocate for yourself is setting the boundary. So it's loading. So I'm gonna share that with y'all.
Whether you let it keep passing or you do something about it.
I was like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Setting the boundary is talking like that one more time. Watch what's about to happen to you.
Or even setting the boundary is, okay, you talk to me like that again. Now I'm just gonna move out your way. I'm not going.
Because I've already
done
said
with
I
this
didn't like
situation
this.
as it is. I am no longer going to engage. I am no longer going to do any of that. And I have advocated for myself on several occasions, but not set the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was blown the fuck away when she said this. Here we go.
You said that, but that's not a boundary. That's self-advocacy. You're not going to talk to me like that. That's self-advocacy. That's not a boundary. The boundary is what you do with your body when they keep talking to you like that. Self-advocacy is, that doesn't work for me. I won't be treated that way. The boundary is, oh, well, I'm going to remove myself because when I advocated for myself, right, and told you what I would and wouldn't stand for, you ignored it. The boundary is what you do next with your body. So you're like, oh, they mad because I got boundaries now. How you know they mad? If you really had boundaries, you wouldn't be aware of their madness, of their anger, because you would have got your body out of there. You would have moved. You would have disconnected. You would have shut it down. And we can get stuck in these loops of self-advocacy and get frustrated because they're not listening. But the boundary isn't theirs to listen to. It's yours to hear and move. You need a boundary.
Oh yeah, send me that.
I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. Put it in the group chat.
Yeah. But that's how you cut the ties. That's how you cut the soul tie right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how you cut the tie.
And that's how you wing out who's willing to do the work and who's willing to do the stuff when it comes to you, and who is going to ignore those things and just be like, all right, well, you tripping, and just, you know, kind of toss you off. Or like with me, I'm not super aggressive. I'm not an aggressive person in certain situations because I saw you, Pablo. I saw you. I saw your face. But I am not. I am in a relationship. I am not an aggressive person. I will speak and say what I need, what I want, what I expect. And then I sit back and I wait to see if you're going to do it. And I don't know what that time frame is, but whenever that time frame is that you either haven't done it, you refuse to do it, you make excuses of why it's not being done, and there's never any effort. There's a bunch of, I hear you, I know, I'm going to do, okay. I mean, but I ain't used to that. I don't know how to do that. All of that is, I hear it, but now I'm watching. I'm just looking as you continue to say the complete opposite. And then eventually it is what it is. You know what I mean? But I think, like you said, I'm more or less advocating for myself, but I'm still in the picture in a way where I'm not setting the boundary, or I haven't done that. I haven't done it where I was setting the boundary, but I was more or less just speaking and just letting
in
it
the
happen.
loop, like she said, in the loop,
and just like, okay,
advocating for yourself,
advocating for myself, and that used to be all I would do.
Yep. And I'm with you because I had to recently get into that space and say, you know what? I just said this too many motherfucking times. So I'm going to do us both a favor. You don't want to do it. I'm tired of saying it. Peace out. But I don't want you to have to witness my absence in order for you to show up. That's not how that works. The minute I disappear, it's because now you feeling the lack of that love, the lack of that attention and that pressure. Because I'm big pressure, okay? When I apply pressure, I apply big pressure, okay? And I don't play about somebody that I'm truly, genuinely interested in. But if it takes for me to separate myself from that situation, then I will do so. If it takes for me to pull back, then I will do so. Because the one thing that I have started to say for myself is that asking twice is too much like begging. And I'm not begging no motherfucking body for nothing.
That part.
Not like me. I ain't begging you for shit. Your time.
I'm not gonna beg for nothing. Because I could be married tomorrow if I want to. Let me make
make a phone call.
I honestly think that be the thing. I think that people oftentimes, because of how you love, like for me, I'm a love hard person, right? Mm-hmm. So I think sometimes people think because you love in that space and you give so much of that to them, right? There's no way that somebody else is in the picture or making an appearance. But like you said, I'm big pressure. You're big pressure. You it's people constantly in an inbox or constantly when you outside trying to say things to you, whatever the case may be. And I think people get real comfortable and they forget that at one point you was one of those people on the outside, like, how can I get this? How can I get to that person? How can I get him? How can I get her? And then lose track of how can I keep them? How can I keep her? How can I keep him? And then they just, like you say, they like, it's all them excuses of why they ain't gonna do it.
But then
you move around, and now it's like, oh snap, because guess what? This not
you don't fuck with me no more, huh?
Right. Because at that point, then now you feel like you in that space where I'm not irreplaceable. The fuck you are. I'm gonna grab all of it and I'm gonna go on to the left. And I'm gonna leave you over here by yourself. And like Leo said, they get that one thing, like, so you don't fuck with me no more. No. And I'm good. I know how to love you from across the street.
Absolutely.
And do what I need to do.
Just because I don't fuck with you,
just because I don't fuck with you don't mean I'm mad. I'm not mad at you. I just had to have the same conversation with somebody last week. I'm not angry with you in any way. I'm not. But I chose to remove myself from the nonsense and the BS and what like you said, I said it 9,997 times. And you think I'm going to say it one more time? I don't talk to my child that much. And you think I'm going to keep talking to you?
I'm good
on that. I'm good on that. I don't talk to the kids that I mentor that much. And you think I'm fit? No, I'm good. Look here, bro. Let me help you out.
Let me help you out.
Head out.
I did that with a friend this year.
Yeah, I did that. Go ahead and head out, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. And I just in the last couple months, I just did it with my own job, and told them, look here, what you're not gonna do is kill me, and all this extra that you got, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. You can have it. I'm good on that.
Because I got to go.
Because I got to go. Because at the end of the day, I love me a hell of a lot more than I love you. And you're not going to keep me in a space where I stop loving on me to fulfill what you. I'm good on that. You go ahead and do that and handle that. And now it's like, well, I said I was going to. You said you was going to 7,999 times. How long you want me to wait? I'm not going to keep waiting on you, man.
Once sat there and said they were going to do it, and then turned around
and did it. You might as well go and talk to God about it.
Right. You stop talking to me about it because you're not winning nothing no more. This shit is over. Ain't no need for you to look. You don't got to convince me of a damn thing. It's true. Convince yourself.
Hey.
And you can apologize all you want to.
And I'm good on it.
That's fine.
Got to.
Because if I get quiet,
well, that's the thing, Leo. That's the whole thing is that they don't. When you get quiet, and I just said this the other day. If the apology is not as loud as the disrespect, you can keep it. Apologize just as loud as you was disrespected. If the apology is not as loud as the disrespect, keep it.
Period. I had to let go of a friend because of that. Because I explained, and I have been explaining this for years. You feel me? Years. And I thought that we had a come to Jesus conversation about this at one point. And it was like, I got you, blah, 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 blah. And da-da-da. As soon as the smoke cleared and she got comfortable and got in her feelings and got drunk enough, she went right back to that pattern of being this person. And I was like, Okay, I'm done. When I say I was done, I was I was done. There was no coming back. There was no coming back. I still be cool. I'ma still say hey when I see you. I'ma still say what's up. If it's something that the kids need, I got you. But outside of that,
and I'm like, you, Ayla, it's across the street. I can still be cordial.
And I still love her. I love her dearly.
It's not gonna stop.
Deal with her.
Right. You just don't have, nobody has to deal with you.
And my cutoff game is
stupid. The person stop loving you or stop caring about you, but they don't have to deal with you in the nonsense. Look, like she just said, you advocated for yourself, you set the boundary, and you still ain't fall in line. Oh, okay. You just gonna keep doing what you want to do after I already told you I don't like it.
And then everything that you said that you needed from me as a friend,
I gave you.
I gave you.
So we got a few more things so you won't create these negative connections or negative soul ties. Avoid over dependence. Cultivating a balanced connection means maintaining your independence and not relying too heavily on the other person for emotional support or validation. Focus on building a relationship where both parties can stand on their own. Assess emotional reciprocity. Hallelujah.
Reciprocity.
Make sure the connection is mutually beneficial. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Make sure the connection is mutually beneficial. Healthy relationships involve both parties contributing equally, emotionally and spiritually. If you're the only one giving, it's a sign of an imbalance that could lead to a negative connection. Stay grounded in self-love. A strong sense of self-love will help prevent you from getting into unhealthy soul ties. When you value yourself, you are more likely to recognize when someone isn't treating you well and walk away before the connection becomes toxic. Okay? So that's how not to create negative connections. And then lastly, how if you don't set boundaries, this is how it affects your soul ties. So you will have emotional overload. Without clear boundaries, it's easy to become overwhelmed by someone else's emotions or needs. You might find yourself taking on their emotional baggage, which can drain you over time and weaken your ability to manage your own emotions. So when we were talking about being emotionally drained, remember? So that's part of that. Not setting boundaries can create codependency. A lack of boundaries can lead to codependent relationships where your sense of self-worth is tied to the other person's approval or presence. This creates a toxic dynamic where both parties rely too heavily on each other in unhealthy ways.
Codependency.
Difficulty detaching. When you don't set boundaries, soul ties become entangled, like Jada and August, making it harder to emotionally detach from the person. You might feel responsible for their happiness or well-being, making it difficult to break away from unhealthy bonds. And lastly, unhealthy control dynamics. Without boundaries, there's a higher risk of control issues in the relationship. One person might exert too much influence over the other, creating a power imbalance that can result in manipulation or emotional abuse. So we got to make sure we are out here taking care of ourselves. We are staying grounded and rooted in self-love, paying attention to yourself, making sure that when you are connecting with someone that it is mutually beneficial in all shape, forms, or fashion, whether that is spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all of those ways gonna help you to stay out of situations that are emotionally draining, that keep you from being able to move forward in your goals, your dreams, life, and all of those things.
Know your worth, people. Know your worth.
That's it. Know your worth. Know your value, but also, like it said, like learn to not look for outside validation. I know some of us may have grown up being people pleasers and all of those kind of things, but a lot of times the validation that you need is to know that the message that you received or the intuition that you were feeling and that you had is the validation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't need no outside validation to do what the fuck you've been doing. And sometimes, yeah, you want to have conversations because you're excited about the thing or the things, but you don't need the outside validation. Now, you might need some assistance in bringing your vision to life, but that is not the same thing as validation. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. We love y'all. Okay? Love
Even
y'all
Pablo.
fully and completely. Huh?
So even Pablo.
Absolutely.
Even Pablo love y'all.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna tell y'all all the time,
Absolutely. He is not gonna tell y'all. Y'all better take that and record it.
Y'all better keep it with you and put it in your pocket.
Okay.
Listen,
put that in your pocket and hold on to it.
Listen, y'all better keep it. But
don't have to like
make sure that y'all are understanding your worth in these relationships and these connections, whether they are business or personal. Make sure y'all are focused on learning some things. These conversations that we've been having have been extremely beneficial for me.
Yeah. Same.
I mean, because I know I just come off so well put together. But no, I'm just
okay, nice piece of leather.
But no, these conversations have been really beneficial to me, especially the soul ties and learning the different dynamics of them, knowing what happens when you don't set clear boundaries, what happens when you aren't staying grounded and rooted in self-love, all of the things that can happen when you are not doing any of those things. So I am going to put this information in regards to soul ties on our Facebook and Instagram pages come tomorrow. Also the video of self-advocacy. I'll send it to y'all, but I'll also post it as well. So you know what self-advocacy looks like, the difference between self-advocacy and a boundary. But if not tomorrow, it'll be up by Thursday. But I think
that means tonight, y'all. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's what exactly. This is exactly
right. You'll get it in a little while.
Yeah.
I really think that this
might be up right now. I don't even know.
Beyond important for everybody.
Check the notifications.
Understand? Forget y'all. But it is important because a lot of us are in that mental loop. A lot of us are in that physical loop with people. We are in that constant state of overthinking. All of the things that we talk about, a lot of us are doing and don't even know why. Don't even know what it is rooted in or what it's connected to. So, like I said, these conversations have continued to be fruitful for me. And if y'all don't know, next month we doing a few real nigga dissertations. Okay.
Yeah.
We gonna bring those to y'all. Those are gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait for the real nigga dissertations. And then the aunties will be back next month, and we talking about kink. Okay, because life is too short to pretend you're not into kinky shit. Okay, so we got 2 conversations coming next week. Not next week. Next month. We got some really dope ass conversations coming next month.
Shit, that's next week.
Exactly.
Right. I did say next week. It is next week. The squad will be back Tuesday and the aunties will be back the following Friday. Yes, sir.
Unknown Journey had a question. We missed it.
He did. Oh, here we go. Let's get there before we get out of here. What do y'all think is the most ignored red flag?
Emotional imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And manipulation.
Manipulation.
Yep.
And
they trauma ain't your trauma.
And more talk.
What you say, Nisha?
They trauma ain't your trauma. Stop trying to fix people.
But
That's
we
not
try
your
to carry it.
responsibility.
Try to carry
Try
it
to
with them.
carry
Yep.
it.
Trying
That's
to
what they taught us to do. You know,
Yep.
their pain is our pain. We gotta carry it together.
Yeah.
And
No,
then also,
thank you.
Also,
Right.
someone who has a
Look.
lot to say but doesn't do anything with what they're saying.
Yep.
I think oftentimes we get to the point where we're so infatuated with them saying things or what they're going to do that there's times where you be like, oh, you just waiting on the fantasy to finally fulfill itself.
Yeah,
the idea
coming to fruition.
You waiting for everything to come. Yeah, the idea of.
You waiting for the idea of love to actually.
Because it sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm. Especially like when you talk to old couples and they like we've been together 40 times. You be like, can I get that?
How did you do that?
Right. But they skip over the clip notes of.
Well, they ain't tell you that they
all that mess they went through.
They did do all of that. They did with like Pop was supposed to really be sleeping on the couch, but he did sleep on the couch because y'all was over here this weekend. Because had y'all not been here, his ass would have been in there on that couch.
Exactly.
And I'm not playing with him. You just never saw like your grandparents like arguing. Yep. You be like, damn, do they even talk to each other? Like what? But at the end of the day, your grandmama was, no matter how mad she was at him, she always made sure he was straight, and he made sure she was.
Grandmama, where that crystal bowl at? Where that crystal bowl that you always have at the parties?
Right.
Somebody borrowed it. Threw that at Pop head.
Right, and broke it.
But that's what they used to talk about, like, you don't correct your partner in public, you do it in private.
Exactly.
Like, that was one of
the that's a big thing for me too. That's a big thing for me. If we out, look, I ain't gonna check you, but when we get in this car, player.
Yep, not here.
Look,
not here.
Don't you
said player.
Do that again. Like, are you for real right now? I'm not gonna never check you in because look, we a unit and we one in
absolutely.
Public.
Yeah, absolutely.
But behind closed doors, I'm about to let your ass.
Because once somebody see the crack, baby.
Yes, that's when they coming in. We ain't never doing that in public. We're not doing none of that in public.
Baby,
but once we get in this car on the ride home, it's gonna be a hell of a ride to the house, baby. Get ready.
Shit, you might get a text message like, "Hey, you need to relax."
Right. That's when you be like, check your phone. Hey, calm down. And they like, oh,
you're doing too much.
Yeah, I saw you.
Or like me and Leo, we had said this. We said it a while ago.
Right.
Where, you know, being with a man who makes his presence known, and he look at you, and you be like, "All right, I'm doing too much. Let me go."
Right.
Because he done gave you that look. Like,
you out, and then you he gives you the look, and you be like,
"Yeah,
what's your say, Pablo?"
Okay.
Just pull out the microphone. Don't try to whistle no more. Just pull out the microphone.
Listen,
that's what I'm trying to. That's why I was trying to just go through it. I ain't even. I'm like, I'm gonna just keep saying because I see her over there struggling.
Right. Right.
Yeah, go ahead, Cole.
Right.
When you get the bat signal, that's when you know. Oh, okay.
You doing too much, bro. Sit down. Like, come here, baby. Baby, come here.
Come here. I got something to ask you. That's you like, oh shit.
Come here. Come here. Go. Like, your ass over here. But
be careful on the corners.
No good people. This is another good conversation. I thank y'all for y'all transparency and openness during this conversation today. I don't appreciate y'all going on a tangent about my shit, but
whatever do you mean, Leo?
I don't know what happened.
But I'm gonna use it for my benefit. I'm gonna just create purposes. Some clips, and when somebody be like, "Tell me about you," I'm gonna just send them the folder. Here's the Dropbox folder. You can watch this at your own convenience. And
not Leo making a knowledge base. She's making a knowledge base for all the new fellas.
Listen, because it is. Y'all done already told all my business. Why do I need to tell them? Like, let me go ahead and take the information already out here. Pass it along. If you would like to have any questions answered, you can reach out to my team.
I'll tell them. Come on over here. I'll let y'all know.
I'll give you their email addresses, and then you can reach out to them individually or collectively. I can put y'all in a group chat
collectively on Zoom and say, "Hey, did you get your questions too?"
Listen, exactly. I'll put y'all all in a group chat, or we can do a StreamYard. and so we can record it. And then, I can email it to you later. Then you can review and have all of your questions answered.
Right.
But thank y'all for having, for loving me the way y'all do and allowing me to love y'all the way that I do. I appreciate y'all to the fullest. And we up out of here, great people. We thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, subscribe button. If you have been enjoying the show and you continue to enjoy the show, share with your peoples. Invite somebody to come watch, come tune in, and all of that good stuff. And don't forget, on Thursday, we got none other than Thursday Night Live popping off over there on SMG. Make sure you check that out. And then this weekend, we is in the city. We is in Chicago for our Them Crushes photo shoot. We are super, super excited. It's going to be an amazing opportunity with none other than Haitian boy Moses on the images, and your girl.
Oh, so I had the money.
Yours truly on the coordination and fashion wardrobe styling. It is going to be a time. Okay. So we is up out of this thing. Make sure you love on yourselves and each other. And go check us out on all of the podcast streaming platforms so y'all can listen to the old episodes. We up out this thing. I love y'all. And y'all know what I say. Whatever you do for the rest of the evening and the rest of the week, don't do it with your half-ass. Do it with your whole ass, y'all. We up out this thing. I love y'all. We love y'all. Peace. You gotta do it with your whole ass.